Chapter 3, Project Management, Part 1. Learning Objectives. After this unit, you should understand work breakdown structures, and networks, critical paths, and variability. In addition, you should understand the phases of project management, the critical path method, and the PERT technique. Here are a few examples where projects were necessary to achieve a product or service deliverable. What examples come to your mind? Have you been involved in a project-driven activity on the job or in your personal life? Well-executed projects can provide a competitive advantage in many ways. Time to market can be reduced, continuous improvement can happen, new product introduction can be streamlined, ultimately helping you meet and exceed customer expectations. Projects typically include the elements listed. Projects come in all shapes and sizes across all industries, both product and service-based. Project activities are divided into three phases: planning, creating the schedule, and then controlling the execution of the project. Here the phases of the project are shown as a continuous loop, with planning leading to scheduling and then to controlling. Completion of the project then results in the creation of a new project plan, and the cycle continues. Planning the project starts with a high-level definition of project goals. This includes the time required, when will the project be completed, the cost of the project, and the deliverables or scope of the project. Next, detail is added to the project plan, including detail on deliverables, the work breakdown structure, and the resources including team members, software, hardware, and facilities. Once the plan is complete, the schedule is defined. Scheduling includes the sequence of activities, what comes first, the assignment of people to tasks, scheduling the deliverables, and as a result, scheduling the resources. Once the plan and schedule have been established, it is time to execute the project. Project management techniques are used to monitor activities, revise plans as necessary, and address issues, including shifting resources. Here we see a summary with all three phases laid out in order. Each phase results in multiple deliverables for the project. Some key examples include the budget, schedule, and resources. While some items are created earlier in the project, you will find that all items will be reviewed frequently during the execution of the project and updated as appropriate. Activities supporting the planning phase are shown here. Too often, insufficient planning will result in project execution issues further down the line. Planning is often cut short due to the difficulty estimating into the future and the desire to just get started. The structure used to organize the staff working on a project can vary greatly from project to project. It must first be remembered that staffing is often temporary. The project lasts for a finite amount of time. Then the team returns to their previous roles or to new assignments. Ideally, the best employees are added to key projects. In some cases, team members report directly to the project manager, while in others, team members remain within their home organization and are assigned to the project. It is best to have team members report directly to the project under these conditions. This approach, while best for the project, may have political issues within the larger organization. Here's an example of an organizational chart for a project. This would be considered a matrix structure since each member of the project team reports to both the project manager and their home department. Here's another view of how a matrix structure works. The role of the project manager is divided between managing the project cost, scope, and quality while managing the members of the team. Interpersonal skills are key to the success of project managers. These skills include coaching, communicating, and organizing. Ethical decision-making is critical to the success of project managers. The pressure to be successful may lead to issues. It is difficult to report issues within the project that may fall back upon the project manager. The work breakdown structure captures the various tasks required to be completed. A hierarchical structure is used to divide major tasks into more manageable effort. This graphic depicts the hierarchical levels of a project with some examples of the differing levels of activity. Different techniques are used for scheduling project activities. These techniques ensure precedence, timing, and effective management of the project. Project scheduling includes setting realistic time and cost estimates. This is both an art and a science. Estimates must include a thorough analysis along with managerial judgment. The three most common project management techniques are listed here. Next, we will discuss each in detail. Here's a simple Gantt chart. Tasks are listed on the left while horizontal bars indicate the duration of each. Here's an example of a Gantt chart that is more complex, yet describes a set of activities measured in minutes, not days or months. Once the project plan is in place, controlling the project is next. It is up to the project manager to monitor project activities, including task completion, cost, and quality. The manager shifts resources as required to keep the project on track. Complex projects use computerized tools to facilitate the control of the project. Some popular software tools used for project management are listed here. Tool selection is driven by the type and the size of the project. Use of Microsoft Project is common in business. The different project management tools generate a number of standard reports to help the project manager effectively control projects. You can see that the reports cover the key metrics of projects, including scope, cost, and effort. PERT and CPM use network techniques to manage projects. Both techniques were developed to manage very complex and expensive projects. They differ by the method used to estimate task duration. Both PERT and CPM use 6 steps to create the project plan network. Once the activities are defined and linked by their relationships, computation of the critical path is fundamental. The critical path defines the project constraints and indicates the longest time path through the network. If the critical path is late, the project will be late. These tools will help the project manager answer these questions and others. The project cost, schedule, and resources can be managed this way. Activity on node is one method for charting activities. Each circle in the chart represents a single activity or task. The arrows reflect the relationships and precedence between activities. Here an example of activity on node charting in action. We start with a list of activities and their predecessors. These activities are necessary for paper manufacturing. Here we start charting the activities. We add a start activity to begin the project. Activities without predecessors are tied to the start activity. From these initial activities, we build out the chart as we add new activities based upon their predecessors. This figure shows the completed Aon network for these activities linked by their relationships. As previously mentioned, identifying the critical path is key to effective project management. The critical path is the longest path through the network. Slack time is the amount of time an activity may be delayed without affecting the overall project. Activities on the critical path have no slack time. Once the chart structure has been defined, we add the time duration for each activity. Note that the actual project length will not be 25 weeks, since some activities will occur in parallel. In the next discussion, we will build upon this structure to take advantage of these tools. This is the end of Part 1.